Great. So I'm Morgan Carroll, State Senator for Senate District 29, and today we were talking about whether government is a we or an it, and the fundamental difference between whether special interests get their way in the legislative process or whether people do has everything to do with whether you, the citizen, gets involved in the process. The good news is it's a lot easier than anyone thinks. Anyone and everyone is allowed to testify on any bill in the legislative process. Any citizen can actually run a bill, so if you have an idea and you don't think your elected officials are carrying the legislation you want to see, all you need to find is one out of the 100 of us to sponsor a bill through the process, and any citizen has access to drafting and passing legislation at the state capitol. The other very important takeaway is to realize out of about 800 bills of what we get per session, maybe only 20 of those will have citizen input, and your input, if you call, if you write, if your email, has a very high probability of actually being the only input we'll get on a bill. Many legislators may have their minds made up on some bills, but the overwhelming majority of bills actually aren't hardline ideological bills where people could go either way, and your one phone call or your one email, very well based on my experience and on what I've seen, may be the difference on what tips a vote through the legislative process. So having watched very horrible bills go through when citizens do not participate and aren't aware of what's going on, to seeing wonderful things happen when citizens do, the answer to the biggest question out there of does it make a difference, the answer is yes. So everybody should realize that this is their birthright. It is absolutely their right to participate in this process, and the only way to fail is to do nothing.